I went on a date with someone and like we'd like said goodbye and like I was still like living at home, so I'd like gone back. And then he messaged me like, I've just fallen in the canal. Like, do you know the canals in Manchester? Yeah. And I was like, haha, yeah, of course, yeah, like blah blah blah. And he was like, no, I've literally just like fallen in the canal.
Hello and welcome back to Single Sounds, the only podcast that helps you find a date. I'm Katie Mack and I am the host and creator of this new dating method, and happy Halloween! I love Halloween. I think it's a really good holiday. I don't know why. I've always just quite enjoyed it. So I hope you're having a spooky, fantastic day. And this is the start of the Northern November, where I interviewed singles living in the north of the UK. So yay! Not that that's very spooky, but you know, still fun. This week's guest was so welcoming and friendly, which was the general vibe I got from all my guests and the general population of Manchester. Everyone was so happy to talk to you and help you out. She is looking for the perfect mix of chaos and peace in a future partner. Her ideal man would be a combination of Mason Mount and Harry Styles with an accent. It doesn't matter what accent, she's quite flexible. She is not short of opinions on topics ranging from dolphins to discussing how frequently you should wash your bumhole. If you do take her on a date, be aware she loves a pint of Guinness and a jager bomb. Just make sure you don't fall in the canal after the date. Hello, welcome to Single Sounds.
Hi, welcome to Manchester.
Thank you.
I was actually practicing that. I was like, make sure you say welcome to Manchester. Like, make it like we're very welcoming people.
Oh no, yeah, you are. I literally said that to someone earlier. Everyone's so much more friendly here.
People say this, and I never get that. Like, I go down to London and stuff, but like only for like weekends. But yeah, it's crazy that everyone's like, people are nicer up here.
Yeah, so
it's
like
the north.
my experience, literally in this very dodgy hotel that we're in. The doors were closing and they were like getting out and I was trying to come in, but I was kind of round the corner and he ran back to make sure that the doors didn't shut.
Oh, that's
that would
sweet.
just never happen in London. The person I was with, I said that, I was like, that would never happen. And they were like, no. They would have just let them close and walked off and like not realised.
I feel like everyone's so busy in London. Like,
yeah,
everyone
exactly.
has a purpose. Whereas in Manchester, everyone's like, I'm probably like going out, like going for a drink. Like, I have nothing on today. Like, I'll hold the door open for you.
No, exactly. You're all very welcoming, so it's lovely.
Oh yeah. Well, we welcome you.
Welcome me in the podcast. Let's dive into your profile, your who, what, where. So first, who are you sexually attracted to?
So men, but I have two loves of my life, which is Mason Mount and Harry Styles. So
Nice.
if you're a great combination between those two, then I will instantly fall in love with you. But I also love an accent. So like a Manc accent, obviously. Geordie, Scouse, like a cockney accent, Scottish.
Nice.
Kind of warm into like the Brummie accent at the moment.
That's an eclectic taste.
Yeah. I always used to say, oh my God, it's the worst accent. But I was like, I kind of like, I think it's after Peaky Blinders. So.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Obviously Irish. Love an Irish accent.
I think that's the best.
Top notch.
Yeah, elite level.
But yeah, so if you're Mason Mount, Harry Styles with an accent, I'll fall in love with you.
Harry has a good accent though.
Yeah, so he's actually from Holmes Chapel, which is like 40 minutes away from here.
Yeah.
I've literally been in love with Harry Styles since I was like 15. Like, kind of boring and
You and everyone our age.
Yeah. I went to the concert like a few months ago with my cousin and we were really close. Like, we managed to get like the kind of really close tickets. And we both just looked at each other like tears were forming in our eyes. We're like, oh my God, I'm 27. Like, I need to get a grip here.
But he's so close to our age, I feel like it's less weird.
Yeah.
I think he's what, like 29, 28?
Yeah, 28, 29. But
like, so he's basically our age. So if anyone should be with him, it's us.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing him. No. Like, I'm going to share the wealth of Harry Styles. Like, I'm not selfish.
I think, you know, like, all his girlfriends and stuff get so much hate. I think I'd just be like, you know what, I understand, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, as long as you give me a little bit of your love, you go off and do whatever you want to, but yeah, I think oh my God, this is actually a really cringy story, but when I was like 15, I like queued outside of HMV to go to like the One Direction CD signing, and then like, we like walked up and like, I was like, oh my God, Harry, will you give me a hug? And then I cried all the way down through HMV. I was like, that's probably one of the best moments of my life.
I mean, to be fair, like, I've never hugged him. That's impressive.
Yeah, it was a good moment.
Yeah.
But I hope people don't think I'm a psycho now.
Do you have any, like, height age preferences?
I'm not fussy about height. I actually think, like, my perfect height would probably be, like, 5'9", 5'10".
Okay.
Because I'm, like, 5'5", so, like,
Yeah.
I'm not, like, the biggest person. And I just don't, like a 6'4" guy. I just don't know how that would, like,
logistically work.
Like...
Yeah. I see those girls that are 5 foot with their, like, 7 foot boyfriend, and I'm like, I don't...
Logistically,
How
it's
are you
not
doing
working
that?
out.
Yeah. Are they just not having sex? Probably. It's all for aesthetics.
Yeah, but, like, even the aesthetics, it just seems so, like, unbalanced and off.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
Yeah, I was laughing with my friend before, like, you'd have to almost, like, stand on a stool to, like, kiss them. And, like, you'd have to bring your stool everywhere
Well, I've
with
heard
you.
from people that they get, like, neck ache.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun.
No. So, yeah, a nice little, like, 5'9", average height, perfect.
Yeah, great. Any age?
So this is kind of where the Mason Mount thing comes in, because I have, like, 2 younger boy cousins, but they're, like, 23.
Okay.
So I always said I could never go, like, 23 and below, because that would freak me out.
It's funny that, isn't it? It's definitely a thing.
Yeah, and I just think, like, if I saw them, I'd look at, like, my cousins and be like, oh my God, you're so young.
Yeah, well, I have a brother that's only 2 years below me. And I think that's actually quite an acceptable age to date below. But for me, I just think, oh, but it's my brother's age.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird. Like, always my brother's year. Like, you go back to school, don't you? It's really strange.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, what year were you in? Like,
yeah.
But my issue with Mason Mount is he's 23, but he's, like, the very start of the year. So, like, that's my cut-off. Like, Mason Mount's age is my cut-off.
Yeah, nice.
And it's very mature, so...
Yeah, so it is more about that, which is why it's silly, but... Yeah, because my brother's 25, like, it would definitely be fine for me to date a 25-year-old.
Yeah, so acceptable, but in your head, you're like, absolutely
yeah,
not,
it just feels really icky.
Yeah. I think, like, older-wise, like, I don't think I could ever go, like, really older, but, like, 30, like, 32 maybe.
Yeah.
My sister's 30, but it wouldn't really, like, weird me out if I was going out with a 30-year-old, because I think the older, it's not as weird, like, than thinking, like, my younger like people.
You know, I agree. Okay, and finally, where would you like to date?
So I've been thinking about this, and I was like, obviously Manchester would be like good, easy, but I was like London as well, because I live on my own, like I'm quite independent, like I like my own space. So like, this would be perfect, like long distance. Yeah. Monday to Friday, I get my own space, and then we'll see each other on the weekends. London's a 2-hour train ride away.
Honestly, I was shocked at that train. I couldn't believe how
so
quick it was.
Isn't it?
2 hours. I barely got anything done. I downloaded 2 Netflix things to watch, and I didn't watch one of them because I was like texting. And then I was like, "Oh, we're here."
Yeah,
like,
it's so
went
quick,
so fast.
And I feel like I get to explore London a little bit more. And so, yeah, maybe like London, Manchester, but I'm not really that fussy. I think maybe like a bit of a long distance could work.
Yeah. And someone else actually said that. They were like, actually, I quite like my own space, so it might be quite nice.
Yeah.
It probably takes the intensity out of it as well a bit, because you don't have to like panic about, oh, they're only seeing me like once a week. Is that enough? Whereas like when they're far away, it's like so much more acceptable being like, oh, we're just all busy. Like,
like, just ring me for like 5 minutes a day, film me on a day, and then we'll see each other at the weekend.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Let's move on to acceptance section. What's your most controversial opinion?
Okay, so this is a bit of a weird one. And I always put this on my Hinge, and it got like a bit of a mixed reception.
Interesting.
But I hate dolphins and Alexas. Like, I'm scared of Alexas, but I just hate dolphins.
Okay.
They come across as these, like, really sweet animals and stuff, but they're really mean.
No, they're really awful.
They're really mean.
They rape each other.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, oh my God, okay. I was like, can I say this? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. But I think my fear has come from the Simpsons, like, episodes.
Oh yeah, when they're, like, on land and they, like, take over the world because they're so intelligent,
I feel like they're going to team up with Alexis, take over the world.
Why Alexa?
So, also a Simpsons episode.
Oh, I don't think I've watched that one.
It wasn't Alexa, but it was like they get like a smart house, and then the smart house like turns on them. I'm like, this is going to be Alexa's. Like, if I'm in a house with an Alexa, I have to be nice to them. Like, I'm like, thank you, Alexa. Like, I don't want you to like turn on me. Like, if you ever take over the world. And I feel like the Simpsons have like predicted so many things.
They get stuff right.
Yeah.
And like, I like when people like show the episode and then show what's happened.
Like the Trump one was a little bit creepy.
Yeah, it was. They do it all the time. It's quite bizarre. But dolphins, I really like dolphins. I like seeing them, but they do terrify me a little bit just because they are really smart.
Yeah, and they're like slimy. And I actually, again, I think I kind of took the whole like me hating dolphin things a bit far, but I do have a dolphin tattoo that I got in Vegas. And I was like, oh, you got to keep your enemies close. And yeah, I was a bit drunk when I got it. So now I literally have a dolphin tattoo on my ankle that I'm going to have for life. So.
You hate dolphins.
Yeah, I think I took the joke a little bit too far.
Keeping your enemies close.
Yeah.
Dolphins are my enemy. Also, their little teeth are really weird. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah.
They're quite
like,
creepy.
But like they also have such a big snout. They just don't look like natural things.
Yeah, if you look at them like head on, so as in like you're looking directly at their nose, like they look really odd.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And even just like
they
the
look better from the side.
And also, I feel like I really like sharks. Like sharks get such a bad rep, but like not that many sharks actually kill people.
No, they don't. Yeah.
And I'm like, why is everyone loving the dolphins but not the sharks?
To be fair, I don't think dolphins have ever killed anyone.
That we know of. Like they might have covered it up.
I think they'd be capable.
I really do think they would be.
Yeah, they're big enough. And I reckon strong enough to like drown us if they wanted to.
But they'd do it in like a really intelligent way, like where it wouldn't be obvious.
But yeah, when I found out that they rape each other, I was actually quite concerned.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not cool, dolphins.
But apparently they also like, this is kind of going a bit sinister, but they also kind of do it to humans as well.
Do they?
Like, and apparently they target men.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I don't know if I've just gone like on a weird Reddit of dolphins and
say,
like people are making this up.
Which TikTok is this? Wait, isn't they've raped humans?
Well, I
or
think
just,
they
like,
kind of like
tease them.
drown them and then
and
then
play with them.
take them to the caves and
No.
yeah. But yeah, I hate dolphins.
Got it. So funny. That's definitely controversial.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, is this controversial? That is.
Yeah, I feel like people might be like, oh my god, this girl's a psycho.
No. We all have some strange things. That's just funny though. I mean, the tattoo is an extra bonus as well.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to explain this to my grandkids. Like, I'm going to have to carry on this whole thing into my 80s and be like, yeah, hey, grandkids, I got the tattoo because I hate dolphins.
Yeah. And what is the nerdiest thing about you?
So I feel like a lot of people will actually get this, but I love Excel.
Oh yeah, spreadsheets. A good spreadsheet is a
and when it
orgasm.
works as well, and you get like all your formulas in, and you're like, I'm the cleverest person in the world.
Yeah, it makes you feel very accomplished.
Yeah,
a good spreadsheet.
And I work with like a few kind of like more like middle-aged people, and I feel like when I show them like what I would consider like a really simple thing, they look at me and they're like, oh my god, you're like a guru, like you're so clever. And I'm like, it gives me like that little boost. Like I probably know a fraction of like what like Excel experts know, but it just makes you feel so clever.
Yeah, the formulas do make you feel smart. It's like you're writing out some scientific like function. I don't know.
And I went on like a financial modelling type like Zoom course. And, like, the stuff that they're showing me, I was like, oh, my God, this is so exciting. And I was like, I work with my dad, and I was messaging him. I was like, oh, my God, I've got so many ideas. He was like, you need to get a life. Like, I was like, but this is so exciting. We can do this and we can do that.
Was it, like, VBA stuff?
It was just, like, the way that you present it and stuff. And, like, it was, like, really simple things. But I was like, we just need to revamp all of, like, our, like, reports and stuff. And I've, like, slowly started to do that. I'm like, it's going to look professional.
Yeah, it will look good.
Yeah.
I back you. I agreed. I've had a few people say, like, a really good spreadsheet is just, someone said, if you don't like spreadsheets, you haven't seen a good one.
Yeah,
and I like that. Yeah.
And some of like the bad ones I see, I'm like, oh my God, I want to change all of this so much. Like it's just not in the right place, and like the formulas aren't working. I'm like, just let me get my teeth into it.
Yeah, I'll just fix it. Don't worry. Cool. Okay, let's move on to adventure section. You're going to take us on a journey with your stories. First question, and my favourite question. What is the funniest dating story you have?
So I feel like all my dates have actually been like really nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well done you. What are you doing?
I don't know. Like I think I've just been lucky. Like
you must be good at picking.
I'm quite picky, so I feel like the people that I do go on dates with, I'm like, oh well, they're gonna be nice to me. Like if I kind of get a vibe that like they're not, I'm like,
yeah, you're probably good at
bother.
picking nice people. I feel like I need to get better at that.
Yeah, maybe. but then it kind of never really like progresses. So maybe I'm picking like the too nice people.
Too nice and no action.
Yeah. But I think the action's more on my part, but
Yeah.
but I'd say this didn't actually happen to me. But I went on a date with someone and like we'd like said goodbye, and like I was still like living at home, so I'd like gone back. And then he messaged me like, I've just fallen in the canal. Like, do you know the canals in Manchester?
Yeah.
And I was like, haha, yeah, of course, yeah. Like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, I've literally just like fallen in the canal. And like he fully just like tripped, like fell in, submerged, and just like bounced up. And then he was like, apparently these like two stoners were walking by.
Oh God.
And like somehow managed to like get him up. And I didn't believe him for ages. And like we're actually like good friends now. Still part of me is like, I can't imagine you actually falling in the canal. But I'm like, what was it like? And he was like, well, it was wet. It was cold. It was like the middle of the night.
Did he like ruin his phone? Like surely his phone was on his like pocket or
I think it was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it was literally like an in and out type thing.
Yeah, he didn't like
Yeah.
fully submerge.
He didn't like
underwater.
swim home. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I'm in now, so I may as well just swim home. But it was around the time as well, like the whole thing with like the Manchester Canal pusher, like, and I was like, were you pushed in? And he was like, no,
Was that a thing that someone was going around like pushing people in?
It's always kind of been a bit of like an urban legend, like has there been like a canal pusher? Because
Glad there's not a Thames pusher.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd probably get diseased in that water.
Well, this is the thing, like that water is not
Yeah,
clean.
it's yours isn't clean.
And like you should have probably gone to the doctors afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he swallowed any.
Oh my God. Can you
Probably
imagine?
didn't though, you're right. I think he was probably just like dipped.
Yeah. Just panicked. I was like, please take me out.
How deep is it? Do you know? I've got no idea.
Oh, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty deep.
That is in like you would just be fully submerged if you like jumped in.
Oh yeah.
And not hit the bottom.
Yeah. It's definitely deeper than that. But yeah, the whole thing was like because a lot of men were like going missing and like they'd then find the body in like the canal or something. They thought there was like a canal pusher, and then they thought it was like a few people that were like doing the pushing.
Together.
But I think it's more like men feel more comfortable walking on the canal at night. They're drunk. They fall in. My like
date
example is like a perfect thing, but
thank God he was fine though.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of funny now, but yeah. Traumatic for him.
Yeah. I see what you mean, as in like you were part of the date but you weren't there for the like really worst bit.
Yeah, I actually don't know what I would have done if I saw him fall in. Like,
that's an ick for sure.
We were talking about icks before, and I love all the ones that you see on TikTok. And it's like there was one that it showed the guy like swimming, but like treading water, but like you could see him like above, and then it like panned to the bottom, and you could see his treading legs, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, that's such an ick."
It's such an ick. Just the way they move.
Yeah, just like the legs, and the legs look so small as well. And yeah, I was like, okay, that's an ick.
That's probably what he looked like, to be fair, like treading water in the canal.
Do you know like a cartoon where their arms are up like, oh my God, help me?
Oh dear. How did he get home? Did he have to just like...
I think he just walked home wet.
The tram? Oh, he just walked?
Yeah. Because I think he like lived... Because we went out in like... It was kind of ish through lockdown, so like semi-lockdown. And I think he lived like in the city centre. So I think he was literally just like walking home like down the canal, and yeah, I think he just had to walk home soggy.
Oh, bless him.
I'm surprised you didn't get ill.
Oh dear. I'm not going to fall in the canal tonight. That is...
Oh my God, please do not walk along the canal. Like.
Is it not? No,
The thing
someone
is,
told me
there's
you
no
could go for like
railings.
nice drinks there. Was that a lie?
On the canal?
I don't know if it like...
I mean, you could get a tinny and like crack it open on the
No,
canal.
I think he was like... He said he was going to like some Piccadilly Canal. Is that a place?
Oh, maybe like the wharf.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of nearish.
He said it was close.
I'm really bad actually at like places in Manchester. Like I've lived here obviously all my life, but I'm bad with road names. I'm bad with like getting from A to B. Like I'm bad with like remembering restaurant names. So this could be a thing, and I'd just be like, oh.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he is just getting tinnies by the canal.
That'd be like reliving like
He
your
sold-
15-year-old
Yeah,
you.
he'd sold it to me like it was nice bars on the water. That's what I was picturing.
So I think it's around the wharf, because
Yeah.
that's kind of like near like the canal like locks, and
okay.
it is really nice around there. The wharf's really nice.
Yeah. He seemed like a guy who had taste. So I was like,
Oh, that's good.
he's gay. Which is why.
Even more taste.
It's all the taste. Don't get excited.
Unless he's actually just talking about Gay Village, because I think that's technically like along the canal as well.
Oh,
so that would also be fun.
Also, yeah, wherever he's going, I'm sure it's great. Yeah. Okay, and next question of this section is, what does your dream life look like?
Oh, so I've actually got a bit of I can't say the word, an analogy of this.
Oh, you said it. I stumble on that one. It's a hard one.
Yeah, I think it's like the an and then, yeah.
That and anonymous, I find really
I
hard.
cannot say that word.
Yeah, it's the an.
Yeah, I just kind of avoid it.
I go like, Analogy is the same though. Same sound.
I just try to avoid the words, but yeah. I think I handled it well.
Yeah, you did it. You smashed it.
So I feel like my dream life would kind of be a little bit of a mix of chaos and like peace. I really do like my own space, but I also kind of like my own space with someone else there. But like kind of not like
interacting.
Doing that much.
I like that, just like being with them.
Yeah, and just like being kind of like comfortable and just like chilling and like not silence, but like
just in your own little space, I guess, like your headspace.
But like also I'm kind of like busy as well all the time. Like I'm always out like with my friends, or like I'm close to my family, and we tend to like go out for like meals, or like I go to like a lot of like concerts and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like I need a bit of that chaos as well to kind of like bring me out of like my lazy slumber.
Yeah. So you're not just like stuck at home.
Yeah. But my sister actually once told me this. The example is like, so you have a glass, and depending on like your personality type, it's like how full your glass is. So like if you're very like outgoing, like you're always on the move, like you kind of always got something on, you can't really sit still, like that kind of thing, your glass is full. But then if you're kind of a little bit more like laid back, more quiet, like a little bit more reserved, obviously like your glass is like fairly empty. And then you need someone else to complement that to fill up your glass to the full bit. So I would say I was almost like a 60% full glass person. Yeah. So I need like someone with a big glass to like maybe overflow my glass a little bit. Yeah. Actually, maybe I'm more of like a 40% glass person. So then I need like a 60% like, I need someone to kind of push me out of my comfort zone. Like, get me to like kind of do fun things. And so yeah, I feel like I need a full glass.
I like that analogy. And maybe that's why they say opposites attract, because you couldn't have two full glass people.
Yeah, because it just wouldn't
be
work.
Overflowing.
And I feel like you'd both be like wanting to like do so much, and I think you'd burn out in a relationship like that. But yeah, I can definitely bring the more like the mellow vibe, but with a sprinkle of like the chaos.
Yeah. I like that. It's like the 40 to 60%.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I would be like attracted to someone that was a bit more like outgoing, like very talkative. Like I think I was listening to a couple of the other podcasts, and like one of the guys, like he was very like chatty, and he was like, I love chatting to people, like waiters, stuff like that. I'm like, I like that because like my family have always been very like that. And then that makes me more comfortable. So then I like start chatting, and like I like to get to know people. Yeah. But I think that would make me feel a bit more at ease. Yeah,
I agree. It's like, it's nice when someone's just relaxed, and then you feel like you can also relax.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good. I like that analogy. I'm going to use it. Although I'm a bit worried for myself, because I think I'm like a full glass person. But like introverted people and me just don't really get on all the time. But
then you wouldn't need an empty glass person. You just need a lower.
Okay, yeah. So we can overfill the glass.
Yeah, because that brings a bit of the chaos and the fun. Like sometimes it will overflow, but then you can bring it up, they can bring it down.
Nice, okay.
And like know when like each other needs bringing up and bringing down.
Yeah.
Because I also feel like the more kind of like mellow, quieter, like introverted person, they would help the more extroverted person like kind of like, bring it down a little bit and like know when to like give yourself a break and so I think it complement each other well.
Yeah. I like it. I feel like I need to.
You can steal it.
Reevaluate what I'm looking for.
It is hard though. Like
it's
I think
so hard.
You always think you know what you're looking for,
Agreed.
And then like a random person can come that's completely different, and you're like, this has thrown all my theories out the window.
I always just focus on fun. Like that's all I want is someone that I can just have fun with.
Yeah,
especially I think it's really
at
hard
this
to
age,
find.
Yeah.
I just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be serious all the time. Like I'm not kind of about that.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit like that. I kind of always thought I wanted a bit more of the serious, but then I realised like I'm out every weekend, like Friday, Saturday, like I think if I did have a serious like boyfriend and they'd be like, I think you need to slow down a bit, I'd be like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
like,
I'd hate that. I'd
Yeah.
hate for someone to tell me that I couldn't do something, or like I'm doing
Yeah.
too much, or
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know that. I don't need you to remind me.
Yeah, like I've thought all of this,
Yeah.
but I don't need you telling me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, let's move on to affection section. We're gonna go with, what are you weirdly attracted to?
Okay, so I feel like this is also a little bit weird. It's quite specific, but like I like good hands and like a forearm.
Yeah, I've heard this before. Like, not
It's
only
such
by
a
one
thing.
other girl, but
Yeah.
she was so keen on forearms.
I don't know what it is about them, but I just feel like I'm not really attracted to like really muscly like men. I like kind of like a defined slender, like you're
Yeah.
not like really muscly that I'd look at you and I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna break me.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I kind of like it defined, so I feel like with the forearms, you know, where it's like a bit of a defined muscle, so you
Yeah.
kind of know that they're a bit strong, but like. And obviously, I feel like guys wear a lot of like short sleeve t-shirts a lot of the time, so it's like it's nice that you can just see it.
What about tattoos, like on it? Because I quite like that on like a certain type of person.
Yeah, I think.
A guy, a forearm tattoo, I quite like when it's like here on the back.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
quite like tattoos, and I like with tattoos as well. It kind of sparks a conversation, because it's like, oh, why did you get the tattoo?
Yeah.
But I think some guys really suit, you know, like the full like sleeve tattoos.
Yeah.
But I really like at the moment, is it not like patchwork, but do you know where it's like kind of you have a sleeve but it's not all connected and they're
Yeah.
like random little ones. I really like that at the moment.
Yeah, that's kind of a Harry Styles vibe.
Yeah,
isn't
let's
it?
get back to Harry Styles.
Yeah, yeah. He does have like random little ones
Yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, some of his are very random. I'm like,
They are.
yeah, what made you want to get one of those? But yeah, I do kind of like that patchwork.
I really don't like his butterfly thing.
It's grown on me, you know.
Really? No.
Yeah, it's really grown on me.
It would put me off.
Do you
Like in bed.
think?
Yeah. I think I'd just be looking at it.
I think I'd just be distracted as well. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I want to like go into the intricacies of like all like the art and like the detail. So I think it just distracts me. But I
Yeah.
quite like the butterfly. It is. I think at first I was like, it looks a bit like random and out of place.
Yeah.
But I think the more you see with the top off, the more you're like, well, I
Yeah,
don't really
well,
mind.
yeah. It doesn't, honestly, I wouldn't be complaining. I just thought.
I feel like he's buffed up a little bit as well
He has.
recently.
He has.
You do you.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
He's looking good. He's looking good. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna play your bestie rec.
Oh, I'm scared.
Are you excited? This is your sister,
It
which is nice.
We were slightly worried because we sound exactly. So I also work for my sister, and I used to work in admin, and she was in sales. So like people would ring up and be like, "Oh, can I speak to Kate?" So I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll put you through." And then Kate would pick up the phone, and they'd be like, "Hello," and she's like, "Hi, can I help you?" And they thought we were like taking the mick out of them. Because we literally sound the same. Like, I've literally spoken to you. She's like, oh, no, that's my sister. So we were worried that, like, it sounds like I've done my own recommendation. But it definitely is my sister.
Yes. I've got evidence that it's definitely not you. I mean, unless this is your number, which it could be.
I could have, like, catfished you all.
You catfished me. That'd be so funny.
Okay, I am her sister, so we do actually sound quite similar. So I promise you it's a different person. Or plot twist, is it? Okay, so I know so much about this girl. I could really throw her under the bus. Will I? I'm not sure. Speaking of buzzes, if you ever date, or actually if you ever meet this girl, please never, ever ask her to tell you the joke about a coach driver. You'll lose months of your life. Okay, so what I'm about to say really makes her sound like a pick-me. She loves football. She loves a pint of Guinness with the boys. You'll more than likely see her in trainers with no or little makeup. She's not really a fan of a glam night out drinking wine. I could never imagine her in a club. She's not a club person. But if you met her, you would instantly know she is not a pick-me. She is so far from it. She is literally the person that walks into a room and her like warmth is just, it makes everyone feel so at ease and so happy. She just seamlessly blends into so many friendship groups, and she has the most amazing group of friends. You'll find her on so many different types of night outs, Like, she'll happily be at a 4 a.m. rave, or she quite like a cozy night in the pub. She loves an open mic night. She cooks at dinner parties. She is, and I hate to say it because it's such a cliche term, such an all-rounder. She's also hilarious, and sometimes I think has no shame. Recently, she announced to a room full of people at pre-drinks, honestly, could people tell them how often they wash their bumhole? I was quite shocked to find out pretty much everyone washes it daily. She probably would like people to know she does wash her bumhole daily now. She also has very little shame to point. Her work fantasy football team is called Mount Me Mason, and she happily has everyone at work know that. One thing I will say about her is you will have the best day ever, and I can guarantee it will end in a Jager bomb.
Yeah, it will.
It will end in a Jager bomb.
I think that's the nicest my sister's ever been about me.
It's nice.
I can't believe she told the bumhole story. Like, she loves telling that story. I'm like,
why did you want to know?
I don't even know how the
When it
conversation came up. I think we were talking about like a full, like, do you know, a full body like wash shower.
Yeah, that conversation about how if you wash your feet was a really big one. Don't know if you asked that, like if you wash your feet or you just like stand in the shower. I find like weird, like I'm a very nosy person, so like me and like Kate, like my sister always say, we love going into people's flats, like not to judge. I want to know where you put like your cans, your spices, like why have you decided this is your cutlery drawer? So then I find it interesting, like what do people do in the shower? Yeah.
Do you like wash your hair first? Like do
apparently
you...
that says a lot about what you're like as a person, depending on which body part you wash first.
Really?
Yeah, that was on a podcast I listened to. I should send you it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was like if you wash your like shoulder first, it says something different about if you wash your like hair, or like if you dip your head in first.
Really?
Or like if you go in with your like hands. Yeah.
See, I've got a little bit of a fear of a shower as well. Like I hate like an overhead shower. I have to like have a handheld shower. Like I hate water in my face.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to like it to come at an angle so you can kind of like tip into it. Kind of
and
I get that.
I like just standing there and just like hold it, like just trying to wake myself up in the morning.
She's so shy.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't believe she told that story, but
that's really funny.
Funny.
Oh, the joke, is that just because it's too long?
It's a really, really long joke, and I think I learned it when I was like 8 or 9.
Okay.
And it kind of became...
It's just a bit bad.
It's so... Well, it's my favourite joke. I think it's hilarious.
You can tell me it later. I kind of want
we might have to go out for a few drinks first. I'll tell you. Like, you can kind of elongate it as much as you like. And then I actually saw it on TikTok a few weeks ago. I was like, oh my God, other people know my joke. And loads of people sent it me like, oh my God, this is your joke. But it's really bad. You'll probably hate me after I say it. So I feel like if I ever tell this to like a boy or something, then he might walk out. I think I'm going to have to wait for a few days in to actually say this the joke. But I think it's a great joke.
I'm sure it will be. I have a similar joke that it's really dumb, but it's really long.
But they're the best.
Because the longer it is, the funnier it is. Because it's such a bad punchline.
And then like people get up, they walk out, and you're like, well, this has created so much entertainment for me. So.
Yeah, I've enjoyed myself because I've just got to tell this joke for like 5 minutes.
With the Guinness thing though, like all the girlies like watching that like a pint of Guinness, put that on your Hinge, because I like just had like, I think it was a Be Real photo that I screenshotted, put that on my Hinge, and the amount of like boys popping up like, let's go and find the best Guinness in Manchester, like it was an easy way to be like ease into the date topic. Yeah. So even if you don't like Guinness, just get onto it. Yeah. Yeah.
I like baby Guinness. Maybe they could work the same if I just put on being like, you could have a Guinness and I'll have a baby one.
Or just pretend it's like, you pretend it's pint of Guinness, like, oh, I love a pint of Guinness, and it's just this small little shot of baby Guinness. Like, oh yeah, I'm such a Guinness girl.
Yeah, I'll write that. The caption's like Guinness girly, and then it's like a little baby one. That's really funny.
I might use that one as well.
I love these. Yeah, do. We all need the help we can get for these on these apps. Trying to like capture people's attention. Okay, awesome. We'll wrap up with, do you want to do a short summary of why someone should date you?
Oh,
you've got in a lot of personality.
Oh, that's good. That's always good to hear. I think like we could just, again, like a bit of mix of chaos, bit of peace, like we'll have fun, but we can also just like fester in our hangovers, like just together, like it's like, perfect mix of chaos and peace. And yeah, I think we just have fun. And
Yeah.
I think it's hard to kind of talk about yourself, isn't it? Like, please just date me.
That's why I get the friend to do it instead.
Yeah.
It's so much
It's
easier.
such a good idea, though. And I feel like, because I'm a bit hungover now, I feel like it was going to be a bit like hungover emotional. I was like, this is so nice what she's saying.
I've actually had people cry like on
Yeah.
the podcast because they had to take a moment and be like, it's actually just made me really emotional. Because I think as British people, we're shit at telling each other like how we feel about someone that you really care for.
Yeah,
we
and
just
I think
don't say it enough.
You almost think it's implied, but then it's nice to actually just like once in a while actually say it, just to be like, this is actually how I feel. Which I will do like after a few drinks anyway. I'm like, I love you so much.
Yeah, same. I have to normally have a few bevs and then it all comes out.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. I hope you have a good night out in Manchester.
Thanks.
You'll have to have
I'm
a few
sure I
Jager
will.
bombs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
And
Not
maybe
sure.
Guinness.
Baby Guinness. Maybe.
Yeah.
The Jager bombs make me feel a bit sick.
I actually, this is also kind of cringe, but I call a Jager bomb a bomb because I love them so much.
Oh.
And then I'm like, oh, let's have a bomb. And yeah, some people get it, some people don't. But
No, unfortunately, I can't leave that in.
yeah. Oh my God, yeah, my name. Sorry.
I'm going to bleep it out though. And then
Oh, okay, that's good.
Cute.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks. So, you know the drill. If you would like to experience mellow vibes with a sprinkle of chaos on your dates, definitely write in to Date This Guest. You can request her details by messaging the podcast on Instagram at Single Sounds or via email, which can be found in the show description or the show notes under this episode. Thanks so much for listening. I'll be back next week with the first Northern guy. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next Tuesday.